How do you get out of a practice rut when you're feeling completely and utterly done with it and considering using your instrument as kindling? We all go through this, and anyone that says that they don't are lying to you. My first tip is to just get inspired. Go to concerts, go and watch people doing things. This kind of has a little bit of a two-tone effect on me. Number one, it's just fun and it's nice to support people and it's a good thing to do, but also it makes me kind of jealous. So, because I want to be on the stage. So, it actually works really well as sheer motivation for me. Sometimes it can backfire, not gonna lie to you, but most of the time I come away just going, oh yeah, okay, I want to be up there doing that. That's why I'm doing this. So get yourself to some concerts, get yourself to some shows, and just get inspired. My second tip is to listen to recordings. What kind of music do you love? So for example, for me, this is musicals and film music. So when I'm feeling really like, ugh, I don't want to do this, I put on one of those two, I blast it as loud as Alexa will allow me to, and it helps me so much.
Might just make this a weekly feature at this point, but no surprises. One of these tips is going to be to get out for a walk. Get out of your house, get some fresh air, get a change of scene, and then come back to it. One of the reasons I chose the music college that I did was that it had all this green space right on its doorstep, which meant that if ever I was feeling overwhelmed, if ever I was feeling like it was all getting a bit on top of me, I could just get out. I could get out in greenery. I could stretch my legs. And this for me is, I should have put it number one really, but hey ho, here we are. This for me is one of the most effective things you can do.
My fourth tip is to have a practice buddy. This is a very, very similar idea to having a gym buddy or a running buddy. It's basically an accountability partner. And I found the best way of this working is for you to go over to each other's houses and go off into separate rooms, do your practicing, come back together, have a break. This just helps with so many things. Number one, you're not exactly going to just sit there and do nothing when you know that the other person is A, practicing, and B, you can probably hear whether you are or not. But it also means that you have somebody on hand to play to, so you can get some advice. So I would highly recommend that this practice buddy, if they don't play the same instrument as you, at least plays the same kind of family of instruments. So if you're a brass player, pick another brass player, woodwind, another woodwind, string, you get the idea. They can just be an invaluable source of knowledge, and they'll also know you and your playing. So they'll be able to say, you can play it better than that, or why are you doing that? Normally you do this, or whatever it might be. Or they may just be like, you've improved so much, and they can be there as an encourager. This also really, really helps with the problem of isolation that a lot of musicians go through, which is kind of odd because our jobs are so incredibly sociable on the one hand, but it's a case of two extremes because we're either with other people, almost socializing to a really high level, or we are at home on our own with the dog. There isn't really much in between. So therefore, having somebody that you see on a regular basis who understands, who can sympathize with you, who you can chat to, you can get advice, all of these kinds of things can help enormously with loneliness. And then my fifth and final tip is to have non-practice days. Similar again to the gym analogy, it's the same as having a rest day. Your brain needs time to digest what you've been practicing, have a little bit of a decompression time. Your muscles need time to just rest and relax. What we do is very physically intense, especially on the little tendons, and they need time to recover. Now, if you're in a place at the moment where not practicing will actually just cause you more anxiety, then instead of having a non-practice day, have just a non-play day. So listen to your pieces, have the music in front of you, go through the score in that way, but don't physically pick up and play your instrument. Therefore, you're still getting all the physical benefits, but you may not feel the anxiety of, oh, I haven't practiced and I have so much to learn. And those are my 5 tips that I do and that I've found incredibly useful. None of us want to practice all the time. And honestly, actually, little bonus tip on the end, I actually find it so much easier to do it if I talk about it as playing rather than practicing. So, for example, I have a planner that I plan out my week in. It just helps me keep my brain together. And in that, I will write play rather than practice, because then it's like you just have to play your instrument. You don't have to do any groundbreaking work. You just have to get the thing out and play it. And a lot of the time when I have that attitude, I actually spend a lot more time working on whatever it is that I'm working on at the time. And I also enjoy it way more because the pressure of practicing isn't there. And I just feel like that word is slightly triggering for myself and also a lot of other people. It can kind of make you feel like it's something that you have to do because your mum's making you do it. Side note, shout out to all the mum and dads out there that are insisting that their teenagers practice when they don't want to, which is obviously never me. I really hope this video has been useful. If you have enjoyed it, please do give it a like, subscribe to my channel for more, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye!